What's up? So I'm going to show you guys how I walk through humongous naturals like this that need to be carved. I'm going to make an Icarus. I pulled this out of my drawer in there, and I forget how much I love this design, especially for 45-degree fork tips. And I found the perfect slingshot really to do that with. So this is a big piece of oak. I'm not exactly sure how old it is. I've had it for at least a couple years. It's still heavy. It might be some moisture left in there, so we might have to get rid of that. But I want to show you guys how I take this and turn it into a beautiful, functional piece of art. So I'm out in the driveway today because I want to avoid making as much of a mess inside as possible, and I'm going to use a tool that makes a huge mess, the angle grinder. This is an indispensable tool in my arsenal. I use it to flatten out one of the faces of the forks so that I can trace my templates onto it. And then if I wanted to, I could use it on the router as well. We're not going to do that on this today because the Icarus is a very basic, simple design. But I am going to use the angle grinder with a flap sanding wheel to take most of the material away until it's something that I can just sand on. All right, so you can see how flat it is, and I can now put the template up there, trace the template, and then cut away what's not the template. Boom, there it is. Now I'm going to use a jigsaw to cut all that away. All right, so I got it down to this. You can see that the wood grain is just gorgeous in there. Whatever that is going to make an excellent sort of highlight to the whole frame right there. It's really cool looking. Look at that. So now I'm going to start the round over, and I'm going to do a very heavy round over. I want it very round, so I left it pretty thick. And I think once it's been rounded over, it's going to be ready to just start hand sanding. I'm all so pumped. All right, so this is what it looks like after a really heavy round over. The round over, so it's not even, so the round over bit was kind of wavy on it, and then it's made like some lines in here and something. None of this is really that important because it's wood after all, and we're going to be able to easily fix any of these mistakes. Right now I'm going to take a orbital sander. I'm going to clean this up a lot and get this up to like maybe 120 grit, give or take. It's coming out great though. All right, so check it out. Now this is sanded to 400 grit, and basically it's done being sanded. Natural wood looks perfectly awesome at 400 grit, so I'm going to leave it at this grit, and now I'm going to apply the super glue. The first thing that I do is I take a rag with some isopropyl alcohol, and I just rub down the frame, and this is just to remove any dust that's still on there, like sawdust that's still on there, to remove any grease left over from my hands. We want the super glue to penetrate the wood. We don't want it to stick to anything, including greasy spots or whatever, anything that might be on the surface of the wood. Some nitrile gloves, because I do not want to touch the wood with my greasy hands after it's been wiped down. You can see it through there a little bit thin, right there. And it's super thin. This is like water. I mean, you can see it swashing around in there. And we're gonna coat this thing one side at a time. So I like to do the forks first, get them coated, Once that dries, handle, get that coated. And we're going to put a whole bunch of this stuff on there. So I'm putting this on, it's dripping, but that's okay. It's very thin, and this thin CA glue will soak into the wood, and it will soak pretty deep into the wood. And then we're gonna sand it back once or twice, once we have quite a bit of it on there. And that's gonna make the sanding and buffing process at the end way, way, way easier. All right, so I got it coated in the thin super glue. Let's see what it looks like all the way around. Right now I'm gonna sand it back just a little bit, back down to close to the wood. We're gonna try to take all the shine off, and then I'm gonna throw a few coats of the medium super glue on the top of it. I think this thin super glue penetrates really nicely, and the thick super glue builds up a great big thick layer. I actually use the medium stuff, but the combination has been working really well, so that's what we're gonna do. Alright guys, got it finished up here. Got it banded up with some Slingshot 0.5. I'm going to take a few shots down at my catch box. I'm using 8mm steel. See what this thing can do. Ooh, yes. It's always nice when you get a hit on your first shot. Boom. Hit the cord on that one right above it. There we go. Oh, I just missed it low. Alright, last shot. There we go. Anyway, hope you guys got a good look at it. I left the handle a little bit fatter. I like that. And yeah, the 45-degree forks is something you got to kind of work with, because I aim like off the fork, like way over here somewhere, but it's like kind of a floating anchor. It's hard to explain, or a floating anchor, floating reference point. Anyway, it's kind of hard to explain, but you shoot it a few times, you get used to it. There it is. Thanks for watching.